welcome to another edition of The Wild Card. On this week's show, we'll be looking at a story written by Erica Salerno on Spanish artist Miguel Barcelo. On the Spanish island of Mallorca, artist Miguel Barcelo made waves last week as he unveiled his breathtaking renovation of the Seo Cathedral Santísima Chapel in the capital city of Palma. King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia of Spain were present February 2nd for the blessing and opening of the cathedral to the public. Miguel Barcelo, a native Mallorcan, has been gaining notoriety for his envelope-pushing and eye-catching work for the past 20 years. Established in the Spanish art scene since the 1980s, it seems Barcelo's ingenuity is poised to reach the likes of his homeland's predecessors. After being commissioned to work on the artistic design of the 14th century cathedral 6 years ago, Barcelo began a quest unmatched since Gaudi's vision of the Sagrada Familia. Barcelo, despite being an avowed atheist, set forth on a quest to give the interior of the cathedral a distinctly spiritual feel. In order to do so, Barcelo chose the biblical story wherein Jesus feeds 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Barcelo stated he chose the story as a reminder of the island's reliance and location upon the Mediterranean Sea. A longtime proponent of the ecological preservation of the island, Barcelo sought to utilize only elements of the natural world while decorating the cathedral's chapel. In order to realize this, Barcelo began in stages by covering the entirety of the chapel in wet terracotta clay, into which he painstakingly molded human skulls and fish, completing these sculptures with authentic skeletal remains. During the long process of shaping the terracotta clay, Barcelo spent long hours ensuring that no area of his 300 square meter work went without proper attention. In modeling the skulls, which decorate the walls and base of his creation, Barcelo drew upon the techniques he has studied in the African country Mali for the past 10 years. After establishing a second home in the country, Barcelo became deeply inspired by the local tribal conditions of the Dogon peoples with whom his first ceramic sculptures were created. Barcelo immersed himself in the local traditions, learning how to dig clay from the ground and mix it to the right dilutions. As a result of his dedication to traditional craft, Barcelo has been invited to be the first and only white member of the Dogon tribe. The use of tribal techniques and natural materials has been a centerfold in Barcelo's work since his early days as a young artist. During the 1970s, Barcelo was an active participant in the Mallorcan resistance organization known as Taller Lunatic, known for its radical ideas on the prevention of environmental degradation. Barcelo's first incorporation of natural materials into his work came in 1977 after his participation in the occupation of the wildlife refuge on the uninhabited Dragonera island off the coast of Mallorca. While other protesters left the island after the government agreed to their demands and ceased plans for urbanization and construction on the island, Barcelo stayed behind. After 2 weeks, he returned with an abundance of organic materials that he dried and collaged together in glass boxes. While simple, the ideology behind his design served as the basis of his artistic identity. As an artist, Barcelo has expressed a unique vision, carving sculptures with his hands, using the most natural of materials in order to prove the exclusive and inseparable state of man and nature. Over the past year, Barcelo has mixed his art with live art performances during which he has carved a 3-dimensional mural using only his body to mold wet clay before live audiences. Barcelo's passion breathes life and energy into his artwork. As spectators enter the Seo Cathedral in Palma, they are met with a fantastical rendering of blue waves, fish swimming freely toward the sky, loaves of bread pressing through the walls, and at the center of it all, the sole rendering of Jesus Christ. Barcelo has often complained that most modern artists, commissioned to renovate cathedrals and often historical buildings, bring a cold and lifeless nature too futuristic and detached to be thought-provoking yet welcoming. In renovating the Seo, Barcelo achieves his spiritual purpose, unifying man with nature through his rugged style and unmatched ability to submerge parishioners in a blue world where anything seems possible. Well, we now reached that point in the show where we have to say goodbye, but we'd like to thank everyone out there for listening, and we hope you listen to us again next week. In case you miss an episode of The Global Current, we now have a website, which is www.globalcurrent.blogspot.com. There you can listen to past episodes, including this one, read our transcripts, and leave comments if you like as well. Thank you again for listening to The Global Current, and we'll see you again next week.